Hey developers, welcome to Codex Dev, where we break down tech to help you code smarter, not harder. Did you know that 93% of you watching right now aren't subscribed? First off, a massive thank you to those of you who have subscribed. Your support fuels this channel and helps me create more valuable content like this. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button because today, we're diving deep into a question every programmer faces. Which operating system is best for programming? macOS, Windows, or Linux? For programming, let's get started. In today's video, we'll look at the differences between Mac, Windows, and Linux from the perspective of a software engineer. Ever wondered which operating system is best for coding? Whether you're building web apps, developing games, or launching mobile apps, choosing the right OS can make a huge difference. Stick around because by the end of this video, you'll know which OS suits your workflow best. Let's dive in. First, let's cover the basics. An operating system, or OS, is the software that bridges the gap between you and your computer's hardware. It manages memory, CPU, storage, and more, while creating the environment where your apps run. Think of it as the translator that helps you communicate with your machine. The three most popular OS options for programmers today are macOS, Windows, and Linux. According to a recent Statista report, Windows leads in popularity among developers with 61% of programmers using it. macOS comes second at 44%, and Linux is not far behind at 40%. Let's start with macOS, Apple's Unix-based OS. Known for its stability, security, and integration with other Apple products, macOS is the go-to for developers creating iOS and macOS apps. If you're an iOS developer, macOS is a must-have because tools like Xcode are macOS exclusive. Xcode provides everything from code editors to interface designers, making it perfect for mobile and app development. The most recent version of macOS is macOS 15 Sequoia, which was released on September 16, 2024, featuring updates like Xcode 15 and improved support for Swift UI. Plus, its Unix foundation makes it easy to work with Python, Ruby, and other command-line tools. Key benefits of macOS: stability and smooth performance on Apple hardware. Unix based system, making it powerful for server-side development. A polished UI and seamless integration with the Apple ecosystem. Stats. About 44% of developers globally use macOS, especially for mobile app and web development. Next, let's talk about Windows, the world's most widely used operating system. It's versatile, offering support for everything from game development to web development. Windows 11, launched in October 2021, took things up a notch with Windows Subsystem for Linux, or WSL. This feature lets developers run Linux tools natively on Windows, making it ideal for cloud and web development. If you're into game development, Windows dominates here thanks to its compatibility with engines like Unity and Unreal Engine. Plus, Windows' massive market share means most commercial software is optimized for it. Key benefits of Windows: wide compatibility with development tools and hardware, great for game development and Android apps, a large community of developers for support. Stats. Windows leads the pack with 61% of developers preferring it, especially for enterprise and gaming applications. And finally, we have Linux, the open-source powerhouse. Linux gives developers unparalleled control and flexibility. Popular distributions like Ubuntu, Debian, and Fedora cater to different needs, whether you're a beginner or a seasoned pro. Linux is particularly popular for server management and backend development. Tools like Apache, Ginx, and Docker work seamlessly on Linux, which is why it powers about 96% of the world's top servers. Key benefits of Linux: free and open source, making it cost-effective. Highly secure with minimal vulnerability to viruses. Ideal for web development, servers, and scalable systems. Stats. Around 40% of developers use Linux, especially for back-end and open-source projects. Now that we've explored the strengths of each OS, let's compare them. Cost. Linux is free, Windows is affordable, but first you're going to need to pay $199 for Windows Pro. Then when you install it, it's going to try and sell you a bunch of crapware like Microsoft Office and many more. But Mac OS requires pricey Apple hardware. Another major drawback is that you can't upgrade these machines if you want to add more RAM storage or GPUs. The upgrade options are extremely limited. Most importantly, everything works out of the box with zero configuration. macOS prevents you from going down customization rabbit holes spending days security. Linux is the most secure, followed by macOS. Windows has improved but remains vulnerable. Stability. Linux and macOS are very stable, while Windows can be inconsistent on older hardware. Development focus. macOS is best for iOS and web development. Windows excels in game development and enterprise applications. Linux is unbeatable for servers, backend, and open-source projects. Community support. Windows has Microsoft Forums and Stack Overflow. macOS offers AppleCare, while Linux relies on its vast, active community. So, which OS is the best for programming? It depends on your needs. If you're building iOS apps, macOS is your best friend. For gaming or enterprise tools, go with Windows. And if you're into backend, server management, or open source, Linux is your playground. No matter what OS you choose, the most important thing is finding what works best for your workflow. Let us know in the comments which OS you use and why. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more coding insights. See you next time on Codex Dev.